Eurovision Song Contest: The Story of Fire Saga is the longest movie title in 2020, I think. So this film follows two people from Iceland who are very passionate about making pop songs and have a dream to make it in the music industry. However, they live in a fairly poor village, and Will Ferrell's character's dad does not believe in him at all. So when they enter a global music competition known as Eurovision, there is a lot of pressure on both Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams as they come across all sorts of challenges they have to face. So I didn't know a lot about this film going in. I watched the trailer, but I didn't even know that Eurovision was an actual television show. And to be honest, I didn't research it because I don't really care. If the film's accurate to the TV show, that's cool. If it isn't, that's cool as well. Either way, I just want a good movie. So was it a good movie? It was an okay movie. It's just, in my opinion, one of those not good, but you can look past these issues and still enjoy it for what it is type of movie. So first, I'll go through the things that I liked about this film. Then I'll go through something I found questionable about it, and then I'll end with the flaws. So, starting with the pros of this film, I think the film has some great visuals, right? Everything looks beautiful from start to end. The colors are great. The way scenes are shot were very well made, and it's hard to criticize the film on that. I thought Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams did a good job with what they were given, even though I found the casting choice to be strange, but I'll get to that later. The actors are surprisingly good at singing in scenes, especially Rachel McAdams. I thought she did a very good job. I read somewhere that there were only a few bits where an actual singer had to voice over her, but for the most part it looks like she sang most of the songs by herself, and I have to give her credit for that, considering she's putting on an accent while she sings. I also like the story. I thought it was very interesting, and it got me hooked throughout the entire film. And lastly, I just like how the film looks. It looks like a colorful musical comedy, and I think a lot of people who do like pop music will like it. So overall, the visuals and story are what carries this film. Now let me talk about this one choice that I found questionable, and that was the casting. I have absolutely no problem with the actors in this film. I think all of them are really good. I really like Rachel McAdams. I thought she was great in Southpaw as well as Game Night, and she's great in this film as well. Same with the other actors like Will Ferrell and Pierce Brosnan. But I'm just confused on why they casted American actors to play, people from Iceland who have accents. I mean, Rachel McAdams, she's Canadian, but you get what I mean. Like, why didn't they just cast someone from Iceland? I'm sure there's many great actors from Iceland that they could have used. The actors still do a good job in this film, with the accents, and I don't really have that big of a problem with it, but I just found the choice very odd. Anyway, moving on to the flaws. The biggest one being, this film definitely has some pacing issues, and it's not really that the story's too long, it's more just certain scenes. There are a few scenes that I felt you could have easily taken out of this film, and it wouldn't have dragged so much. There's especially this one scene towards the end involving Will Ferrell's character and some other Iceland guy who get in some sort of a fight, and I didn't care at all about what was going on between the two, and it felt like it was just put in for comedic purposes. Speaking of which, this film also has a hard time balancing out comedic scenes with dramatic scenes. Whenever something starts to get serious, it's hard to take Will Ferrell's character seriously, since his character for the majority of this film just acts like a goofball. Some of the jokes in this film work while some don't, so you can take that as maybe a minor flaw. Overall, it's just the pacing that's the most annoying part about this film. This film is 2 hours long, and I think it probably should have been only an hour and a half. I think what really dragged the film was this subplot involving ghosts, which was yet again put out for comedic purposes. But that's the only real purpose, and I mean, it kind of does have some purpose for them getting into the contest or competition. But even after that, the whole subplot with that it kept going on, and it wasn't even that funny. So yeah, if you're gonna watch this film, or if you haven't watched it yet, just be aware that it is a long movie. One final thing I want to mention, it's not really a flaw, it's more of just a nitpick. So I'm not gonna take a point off for it, but somewhere at the beginning of the film, there's a scene that involves two CGI whales near a dock, and I can't help but say that it just looked absolutely ridiculous. It's not really a flaw, but it's more something I just laughed at in the film. So, even though I said this film does a good job with the visuals, it does have some obvious CGI moments. But overall, I think there's something to enjoy about this film. I definitely enjoyed it as much as a fun comedy, and it's cool to see Rachel McAdams in something again, because I haven't seen her in anything for a while. Same with Will Ferrell and Pierce Brosnan. I think if you're a pop music fan, you'll definitely find something to enjoy from this film. I'm going to give Eurovision Song Contest, this Story of Fire Saga, a 5 out of 10. A mediocre film, but still enjoyable. I think I gave it the same rating as Becky, but I do think that this film is just a tad better than Becky, because something about Becky felt a bit dry, even though it was an okay film. I think this is more of a refreshing film. Yeah, I'd recommend it if you want a film to watch, and even if you're a pop star fan. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you want me to review a certain film, just leave it down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.